I need to get to Tesla right now. Tesla is stumbling and crashing its way to the bottom of the NASDAQ. It is lower at this moment. We can put it up on the screen right now, and we can see it's down about 14% to $261. This is important. I do want to say that the annual low is below this, $244, but it is well off the annual high of about $387. But what you're seeing here, loss of about 15%, that means it's on track for the largest one-day decline since 2013. Of course, as you already know, if you've been watching us, the Securities and Exchange Commission aimed its regulatory guns at CEO Elon Musk. They are seeking to oust the EV visionary from Tesla's C-suite, a move Barclays' Brian Johnson says would erase, wipe out, vaporize as much as $10 billion more from Tesla's market cap and leave share prices worth just $210 per share. Johnson going on to say that Tesla has always been about what he called the Musk premium, that cult of personality with Elon Musk, and that without him, the faith-based bull case, the Tesla faithful who just love Elon Musk, is, quote, all but dead. Charlie Gasparino, who you could hear chattering away, is still looking at his notes that he's getting.
Well, we just got some interesting breaking news that's new, in addition to what's going on and some of the stuff we broke earlier about the
Okay, before you say it, let's
probe.
watch the stock before his news, down 15%.
Okay, here's what we're hearing now. Remember when we reported early on that the Air Force was looking at Elon Musk's security clearance over the pot smoking involving on the Joe Rogan podcast. Remember, he has a securities...
because contractors are not allowed to be...
and he's got a securities clearance on SpaceX. What we're getting from sources inside, not even sources, senior officials inside the Department of Defense, this somehow got booted up to the Department of Defense, is that they are indeed looking at this still. They are trying to determine whether this should be raised to the level of investigation, if they should, and if they do raise it to a level of investigation, do they reject his security clearance? So he is not out of the way on the security clearance.
That's separate of Tesla. This is SpaceX's rocket ship company, which has a deal with NASA, which is government.
And he has a securities clearance to that. Remember, he went on Joe Rogan's podcast to talk about all sorts of things.
How can we forget?
And he had the little, what do you call it, splib, I don't know, joint, whatever you want to say.
Fatty
in his mouth.
Doobie? I'm looking in the Urban Dictionary.
In any event, this is new. It's like this has not gone away. There was some reports that it wasn't that big a deal, but this apparently has not been, how can I put it, paper shuffled, filed into the waste.
But nothing official.
But we know they're looking at it. They're deciding what to do. This is still percolating, and it adds to the woes he has, including this SEC investigation. And the fact is, it's serious when the SEC took about, you can ask Elizabeth Nowicki, I know you have her on next.
Yes.
She knows this. What does it mean when the SEC takes 8 weeks to finish an investigation? It means they think they got something.
That was fast, is what you're saying.
That's fast.
Well, let's bring in Professor Elizabeth Nowicki. She is a former SEC enforcement attorney. Elizabeth, I do want to quickly get to this, though. As what Charlie is reporting, this does seem like it was fast-tracked. Does that mean it was an open and shut situation, or it was a political push here? Who knows? But I'd like to know your opinion on this, having been on the inside of the SEC.
Sure. It's not necessarily that it was fast-tracked. It was that Musk is obvious about what he's doing. He tweets. He goes on podcasts. So the fact-finding that the SEC had to do was relatively unsophisticated.
Well, okay, but what about the argument that they had a settlement ready for him that was neither allowing him to deny or admit to any wrongdoing, just pay the fine? At the last second, he pulled out, and boom, they went right for the fraud accusation here.
Right. The SEC is looking for the easy settlement. And to the extent that they could have served up a settlement that was easy, meaning nobody had to admit anything, and the relief was minor, perhaps it would have served Musk to accept that. I'm not exactly sure why he did not, except that it sounds like the SEC is committed to barring him as an officer, which could be a problem for Tesla.
No, they were. Elizabeth, our sources are saying that they essentially wanted a ban for 2 years or a couple. I heard a couple years, so maybe it was 1.5 or whatever. I heard a couple of years that they were looking for a ban as an officer direct. That means he couldn't be chairman. He couldn't be CEO. Now, maybe he could have been like creative advisor, which seemed like a decent compromise. The SEC also believed they had a very, very fair case on him. They believed that this was not, a draconian move, and he said no. And it was interesting. He went out and lawyered up pretty heavily. I mean, the two guys he hired, Chris Clark, story we broke earlier, former AUSA, and a guy named Stephen Best. That team represented Mark Cuban in his case against the SEC, that, remember, over insider trading charges that he won. So these guys are pretty aggressive. So listen, this may be a big sort of dance before he gets a better settlement agreement, like, no ban and maybe a marginal fine. But, you don't bring guys like this unless you really want to fight, you would think.
Elizabeth?
Remember what the problem is for the SEC. The SEC has to prove that Musk had the intent to defraud. I don't believe that he did. I believe that he's a big idiot.
So now you're saying they're going to lose because it's a fraud case.
But do they have to prove intent on the they don't have to prove scienter at a level that you need when you have to put people in jail on a criminal basis. They just have to prove, listen, he didn't have the funding secured. He didn't really talk to anybody. He made these ridiculous statements. There is implicit intent from those statements on a civil level, isn't there?
Some would say that you can infer intent. I don't believe that. I do not believe that from reading the SEC's complaint. Now, is Musk going to ride that all the way through a trial, or is he going to cave and step down? Normally, the SEC does longer officer bars. So if they're willing to give him a 1-year officer bar, maybe he'd be smart to take that.
I would think so. The stock right now down at 14.3%. Elizabeth, thank you very much.
I would have taken that deal. I don't know why he did not take that deal.
Well, ego sometimes, maybe. Who knows? But Charlie, thank you. Interrupt us again if you get anything more. He's working the phones, as you can see.